Hi there. Today we are going to start with some basics of Adobe Photoshop. Let's get started with Adobe Photoshop and making a digital scrapbook page. First we're going to go over some basics. When you first open Photoshop, it comes up to this screen. And up here you have the option to create a new file, to open a file, and then this area here shows all of your recent pages that you've worked on. So just real quick, we'll open this one up here. And this is one that you have probably seen in one of the Facebook groups that I belong to that caused you to reach out to me. This is actually a picture of a page of my great-grandfather. I never knew him, but from what I heard, he was quite the character. So this is the type of pages that I hope to be able to get you to. So we will go ahead and close that out. And we're going to actually make a new file. So we're going to use this new file right here. We're going to click on that. And this screen here that comes up, and what it shows is some of the recent pages that you've made, different sizes. This one here is a 6x6. This is a 4x4.5. And you could choose one of those and just click on it and it would bring that page up. But what we're going to do is going to go over here, and what we want to do is we want to make a 12.25 by 12.25, and we're going to use the inches. The inches can be changed to pixels or centimeters, whatever you normally work in. But I work in inches, so I will choose that. Come down here to the resolution, 300. The color mode is RGB color, and that is what I work in. Your background contents, you can choose whether you want it white, black. You can choose the background color, or you can work in with a transparent background. I'm going to choose white, and the color profile here is Adobe RGB 1998. And so we're going to come down here and click Create. Now let's look at the basic layout of the Photoshop screen. Up top here you see is what's called the menu bar, and it has File, Edit, Image, Layer, Type, Select, Filter, 3D, View, Plugins, Window, and Help. So this is the main menu bar here. If you come over here on the left hand side, this is called your tool panel. And so it has all the tools that you're going to need to work with on your document. And if you hover over the little icon, it will tell you the name of the tool and a brief description of what that tool does. So this one here is called the Move tool, and it moves a selection or layer. If you come down here to, let's say, this one here, it's in the eraser tool, and if you click on your right click on that little arrow that's right here in the corner, you can choose eraser tool, background eraser tool, or magic eraser tool. So we'll go over those later. But your main one that you're going to the main tool that you're going to use is going to be up here, and it's called the Move tool. So I'm going to click on that. And now we're going to set a ruler. So we're going to go up to View, down here to Rulers, and now we have a ruler on the top, and we have a ruler on the left-hand side of our page. So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some guidelines. And the guidelines that we add, they're going to be your margins, and they don't show up on your final project, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you're having your photos printed by an outside company, like maybe Presto Photos, I have a link that I'll put in the comments. And so if you have them printed by, you know, have your individual pages, or you're maybe making a hardbound book, you're going to want to have these margins and or guides on your page, because it's going to help you know where the cutoff line is going to be and where the danger zone is at. And these are going to be called your crop guides. That is why I add what is called a bleed to my page. So we did a 12.25 page, but my actual page when they cut it is going to be a 12 by 12. So when uploading your pages into your, like into PrestoPhoto or the company that you're using, they're going to have guidelines for you to you know, you need to know those so that part of your page doesn't get cut off. So what we're going to do is, what I'm talking about, let me open this up, is here we go. So we added that 12.25, we added that extra 25 is the red area here. And that is the area that's going to get cut off your page. This area here, this pinkish area, is going to be the area that is called the danger zone. And you don't want to put anything in there that's going to be very important. You don't want to put faces in there. You know, anything that's important text, you don't want that in that danger zone, because when you send it to a printer, sometimes their cutters are a little off and they might end up cutting part of your text off. It doesn't normally happen, but you just want to stay out of that danger area. So again, the red area is going to be your bleed area, and the pink area here is our danger area. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, we're going to set up some new guides on our page. So you go up to the very top, up to the menu bar, and you go to View, and you're going to come down to New Guide. And we're going to, we've got vertical here, so we're going to put in 0.25 and hit OK, or you can hit the Enter, return your Enter button. We're going to go back to View, and we're going to go to New Guide, and we're on the vertical again. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in 12, and what we're doing is we're creating our red area, the cut area guides. So we're going to come back up here now, and we're going to go to horizontal, and we're going to come down here and put in 0.25, and then we're going to go back up to View, Guide, and then we're going to put in 12 point. So this that we just created is going to be our bleed, and this is where the cut line is going to be. So now what I normally do is I come up to View, and I'm going to make that inside danger guide for us. So what you're going to put is 0.5 on the horizontal. We're going to come back down here. On the horizontal, we're going to put 11.75. Then we're going to go back up to View, to New Guide, and we're going to click the vertical. We're going to put 0.5, and View again to New Guide, and we're going to put in 11.75. So now we have this area here. The outer one is the red area, the cut. The inner line here, and between those two lines, that's going to be your danger line, so you don't want to get anything in there. So then I go up to View one more time, New Guide, and I like to put in a center line. So I'm going to put 6.125, and that's my center. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this page, and we're going to use this page again, so either save it to your desktop or into a folder that you know that you can access quickly. So what we're going to do is come up to the main menu, and we're going to select Save As. And so what we're going to do is comes up to a new screen and a new Save As, and we're going to save it as, you can name it anything that you want. I'm going to put Scrapbook Template, because we're going to use this over and over. And so now your ending here is a PSD file, and that's actually a Photoshop file. And that's what we want to save it as, because if you save it as a Photoshop file, this way you can reopen it and make any edit changes that you want, and then you can always go back and save it as a JPEG, a PNG, whatever end file or final file that you want, you can save that as. But for right now, we want to just save it as a PSD file. Make sure that this says Format Photoshop. Come over here and select Save. So now I have that. You can see right here, I have it saved to my desktop. So we're going to go back up to File and Save As. And I just want to show you real quickly the different formats. You can, Photoshop is what we saved in. You can come down and save it as a JPEG, which most of us, we will be saving our scrapbook pages as a JPEG. You can save PNG files, TIFF files. So there's a range of different formats that you can save. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that. Alrighty. And then I'll kind of show you here a little bit of difference of a PNG versus a JPEG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a PNG file that I made. That's actually one of the drawings that I did. And so now this is going to open up. It's a PNG file, and you notice it's on a transparent background. And then that way I can move it into any page that I want. Real quick, we can do some cropping and such, but so it's transparent here, and it's white here. So if we've got a background on here, and we want to put this over halfway over a photo, it will actually show halfway over the photo, and there's no white to it. Now, if I go up here and open up the same file that I've saved as a JPEG, you're going to see that that comes up as a JPEG. I'll go back up here to that first file, and I'm going to delete that. So I have the PNG file with the transparent background, and then I have the JPEG file. And anything that you save as a JPEG is going to be a solid background. And so you can't move this like you can this. You can unlock this and you can move the whole JPEG. Let me bring this over onto that JPEG. But the PNG file you can move, and see, you can actually make it look like there was two bears. So anyhow, we'll get into all those details a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and close those out. And save. So again, this page that we created, this blank page that we created, make sure that you save it, so that because we're going to use that in the next video, and so we'll be able to go in and open that up, and that file will already be done. So in our next video, we're going to be adding a photo and adding text to our page. So I appreciate you watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. If you have friends that are scrapbooking and maybe want to learn some things, we're going to be going over, I'm going to review a few programs, review the scanners that the scanner that I use. And if you have questions, put them in the comments or Facebook me, and we will go from there. So have a great day. I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch. And again, thank you so much. Bye-bye.